Yeah, right. And no charming quarterback named Tom Brady.
So charming.
They hung in there for a little bit. I give the Giants the credit. They did hang in there for a little minute.
This has a freaking lion hat. She wants to use that because it's got a belt.
That's dope.
It's supposed to be like his dad's belt.
Oh, dope. Jody Lee's gonna be pissed.
Why is that his belt?
That's Jody Lee's belt.
Do I have to ask him?
Probably. I don't know.
I heard you and Beck pretty good, but let's listen again. Tim, say something.
You're a faggot.
I heard that.
I heard what you just said. Pretty harsh there, Tim.
Yeah.
Pretty harsh.
The truth hurts.
All right.
Why
Yo, what to do, GG Nation, GG Legion. It's your fella again, Straussman, the G. As you can see at my esteemed panel here, we are missing two of the Spice Bros. I was hoping to have them on here for Borderlands 3 Spoilercast, as you can see at the title of the video. But hey, we got Timmy, we got JJ. We're here to talk Borderlands 3. We're going to do a really quick segment of non-spoilers, then we're going to dive into it. I've been wanting to talk about this game for a long while. Shout out to you guys and gals. Appreciate all the love on Twitch. We got a couple new followers on Twitch the other night. Appreciate the love. We're so close to that sub button. Hit that link down below. Go to my Twitch and hit that follow button. JJ and I and many others stream on there regularly. It is Spooktober. We're playing as many spooky games as we can. Maybe we'll hit the rink tonight. I don't know if JJ's feeling like hitting the rink tonight. We'll see. But stay tuned for that. Appreciate all the new subs we got as well. All the love you guys are showing the video. Shout out to Steve, Angry Spice himself, for hanging out and helping me out on the Joker spoiler cast. We talked about it. Really enjoyed that one. That was really, really a fun one. But how are you guys doing today? How are you doing, Tim? Thanks for joining me.
I am just ecstatic to be here.
How you doing, JJ? You guys know my cousin, JJ.
I'm good. I'm not as ecstatic as Tim, apparently.
You never are. That's why you're mild Spice. You're not, you're just in the middle. And that's where you need to be, and we like that.
I'm changing Tim's name to Sarcastic Spice.
We can't add any more. No, we can if we want.
I can do whatever.
All right. Whatever. Like I said, what we're talking about is Land Borders 3, Borders in Disguise. Let's talk about non-spoiler really, really quick. The only thing I want to ask you, gentlemen, is what were your overall thoughts of this game? What did it meet your expectations? Was it better than you thought? Was it not as good as you thought? Did you expect it to run a little bit better? I just want to know your overall thoughts. Let's start with Timmy, because Timmy is a huge fan of Borderlands in general. Back when he had his Psycho, he got it to level 82 a couple months ago, which is insane. And also, he not only did he platinum it, him and I platinum it, like he platinumed it in like 3 days, but he got to level 50 in like 3 days. It was insane. He beat and got to level 50 in 3 days while working a job and doing everything. Timmy really grinded that out. But let's start with you. What was your overall thoughts of Borderlands 3? Did it really meet your expectations without diving into spoilers yet?
I mean, overall, I really liked it. The only thing I was a little disappointed in was those glitches, which, we obviously ran into when we were working on getting that platinum.
Yeah.
It kicked us out a few times, and that was pretty frustrating. But, I mean, those didn't really take away from the overall game for me. I love the story and the voice quips between characters, and I was overall really happy with it, and I'm looking forward to all the DLC that's going to be coming out.
All right. How about you, JJ? How did you feel about Borderlands 3? Because you and me and Chad, we did a podcast when it first got announced, like the day of it got announced. We talked about it. We were really excited about it. And I kind of forgot about it for a little bit because we were playing JJ and I played so many things on the channel. We're playing so many different games. I kind of forgot about it. Then when it came out, like, oh yeah, shit, it's out. But how'd you feel about Borderlands 3?
So I finished Borderlands 2 and jumped right into this, so it kind of worked out perfectly.
Which I commend JJ a lot. Not only did he platinum 2, which it took a lot of time. He went through all the DLC, got to 50, which if you guys played Borderlands 1 or 2, getting to 50 is a grind. Where this one, it isn't as much. But go ahead, JJ.
But I liked it. I don't know if you guys experienced the same thing I did, where I played split screen the whole time with my son. So anytime anybody would open the inventory thing, and it would just bog way down. But other than that, I loved it. I had so much fun.
Yeah, Tim and I are very much alike. Even though this is a multiplayer game, this first go around, we really like playing solo. I really like to dive in deep in the story, and that's why I wish I had. That's why I like having you here, JJ, because you played with your son. I would like to hear Chad and Steve's, because they're playing with other people too, and I would have liked to have them on here, but hey, we understand. Shit goes down, things go on. We gotta keep the show rolling. I don't know why my shit is flickering. Stop it. But my overall thoughts before we go into spoilers, because I really just want to talk. I just really want to talk about this. I have a lot of thoughts going in my head. Been wanting to talk about this game for a while now with you two. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot better than I thought I did. Very fun game. I'm gonna say this right here because we're gonna have a big discussion about this. I'm gonna say it right now. This is not Game of the Year material, at least for me. And we'll dive in deep into it. I know it's a big debate. I'm so interested to see that Game of the Year ballad by Jeff Keighley there, which we're going to talk about. We'll have a podcast. I also want to apologize for not having more podcasts. I started the channel to do podcasts, but we've been doing a lot of different things. We've been doing live streams, some playthroughs. I know I'm a little behind on Catherine. I apologize, guys. I thank you for all the love and support. I had a lot of fun playing solo, grinding through this game. I had a lot of glitches happen to me, which kind of bogged it down. Despite all the glitches, I still ran right through this game, platinum it. Tim and I basically platinum it together. We ran through a couple glitches, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I like that this one wasn't as big of a grind as 2 and 1 were, where to get to 50, once you beat the game, you get to Mayhem mode. I beat the game at 44, unlocked Mayhem 1. Didn't even realize I unlocked Mayhem 1. Started looking for other things, got up to 50 the next day. I was really, really pleasantly surprised. They wanted to get you to 50 as fast as possible in this game. I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. Do I have a lot of issues? I do. I have a lot of fucking issues with this game, and we'll dive in deep into it in a second. But I think, would you guys say this is a must own right now, or wait a little bit, wait for Black Friday? I guess it really depends on your perspective. If you're a Borderlands fan, you should be playing this shit right now. If you're not a Borderlands fan, you're probably on the fence about that. But what would you think? Is this like a must buy? Let's start with JJ. So. Go ahead, JJ.
I think it is. I mean, especially if you have buddies to play with right away, hell yeah, this game is. The characters are good. The new mechanics they added from 2 to 3 make it feel fresh too at the same time. Like, it's a Borderlands game. You can tell it's a Borderlands, but they added a lot of new mechanics to it to make it. It felt Borderlands-y, but kind of different, but still. For me, it felt
like Borderlands 2, but added on, like more. It's just more Borderlands, and that's good. That's nothing wrong with that. That was awesome.
It's a fantastic game. Like I said, especially, if you're looking for a multiplayer game to play with your buddies, knocks it out of the park.
What about you, Tim? What do you think? Is this a must-buy right now, or wait for Black Friday?
If you, like you said, if you even liked Borderlands 1 and 2, it's a buy right now. Because all it did was, one of the biggest things about it is I didn't quite like the story as much as 2, but that didn't mean that I didn't like the story.
Yeah.
I still love the story.
We're gonna dive in.
But the gameplay was, I don't want to say leaps and bounds better, but it was a lot more smooth than 2 was. And so that makes it a lot more fun to just physically play.
Well, we would hope for a 7-year-old game, it would kind of, be better. But you're right. They did improve a lot. So this is my warning right here. We're going to dive right into it. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of spoilers. If you have not played Borderlands 3, I know it's been about 2.5, 3 weeks, right? Since this game's been out? Maybe a little bit More, maybe a little bit. It's been like 2.5 weeks, I think, since the game's
Yeah, it
been
hasn't
out.
been that long.
Because it came out second week of September, I'm pretty sure. We're already in the second week of October, so it's like 3 weeks probably, almost a month.
Yeah, about a month. Close to it.
Yeah, it's pretty close to a month. Yeah. So if you don't want to be spoiled, get out of here. We're gonna come back, play the game. We're gonna talk story, spoilers, everything. We're gonna talk what we like. I want to start with gameplay because you guys kept bringing up gameplay. Let's start with our likes and dislikes of gameplay. I'm gonna start it off, man. There was a huge amount of quality of life improvements in this game that I wanted from my previous Borderlands discussion with JJ and Chad. I'm like, I wanted a lot of different quality of life improvements. You know, I wanted the map system to be improved. I wanted grabbing ledges to be improved. I wanted, sliding. I wanted I wanted the side missions to be better. And they pretty much did all of that. They actually really did do a lot of improvements to the game that I really enjoy and make it a really fun experience to have. Honestly, I hate to say it, it's kind of like any first person shooter nowadays because it kind of plays like that now where you can finally slide, you can grab ledges. It's still a little janky, not as much as like at least you can have the option to grab the ledge now. Um, but there's a lot of huge improvements. I think number one for me was the map system. You can actually kind of see. I hated in Borderlands 2 trying to get some of these trophies, especially the location trophies, where like it's like, oh, you got to go up or you got to go down, and I'm looking at I'm like, what the hell? Where am I supposed to go? Like, or this, you can kind of actually zoom in on the map and see where, yeah, okay, there's kind of a ledge here, or there's something here that's in my way that I need to get to. That's kind of one of my favorite moments. What were some of the improvements that you like, JJ, gameplay
You
wise?
pretty much nailed all of it. I mean, the grabbing ledges, the sliding was fun. And not only that, if you have certain artifacts, when you slide, it makes sliding different. It's cool.
Yeah, you're right. Like I had saw blades for a little while. I would slide and shoot saw blades out.
I had a big snowball when I slid once. You can do all kinds of shit. It's pretty nice. I don't know. I just liked everything you said, man. It's the ledges, the sliding, the what else?
That's why I just want to hear some of your thoughts right now.
It just felt great. It's a great.
What about you,
game.
Timmy? What were some of the improved gameplay wise that you really loved about this game?
One that you guys hadn't mentioned, I think driving in this one is a ton better. Between the cars, the more variety of cars. Now, granted, they had a few different ones in the pre-sequel too, but overall, I wasn't a big fan of the pre-sequel. But all different cars, the handling of them, I enjoyed that a lot more.
Yeah, I hate to play devil's advocate. I actually thought the drive. I don't think it was worse. It was improved. You're right. It was better, but after 7 years, it still kind of felt a little jank to me, especially kind of turning. But it's kind of like the Warthog from like Halo, where you can't really drive the shit. He's just there.
I see what you're saying, and I thought that too. But then I thought more of it. And if you think of like, it looks like how these cars are made together with like scrap and stuff.
Yeah,
I could totally see that happening with these cars.
Personally, I like the Cyclone because to me that handled the best.
It did.
I didn't have to worry about the technical machine and stuff, and the Cyclone, I really like the handling on that. But go ahead, Timmy. Was there anything else? I have a lot, so.
That was pretty much it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a lot more. I feel like all the guns have definitely significantly improved as well. Each legendary feels like a legendary. They have some unique function to them. For example, I have the Butcher, and it's like the fastest shotgun. It's a Diablo 3 reference, and you shoot it, and it shoots like an assault rifle. It's boom, 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 boom. I actually have one to give to JJ, because I got a shit ton of Butchers. All the guns feel really unique. Where Borderlands 1 and 2, they all kind of felt the same. The uniqueness of the gun of like legendaries weren't felt for me personally. I like the fact that we got a lot more legendaries, at least on my playthrough. I remember playing Borderlands 2, especially recently, and I remember playing Captain Scarlet's Booty. Like, I played it like 4 times a couple months ago because I played it with JJ, played it with Steve, played it with, I went back and did it with Zero to get some trophies and stuff. Like, I played Captain Scarlet's over and over again. And out of all those times I played it and beat it, I only got one legendary, and it was in Steve's game, and Steve didn't get a legendary. He didn't get a legendary.
The legendary drop rates were a lot better.
They were a lot better, and I like that a lot. They improved that a lot. The guns feel really good. Like, they all had, like, the toilet rocket launcher that shoots, like, shit out. Like, it's, like, there's a burger gun. There's a gun that, they all feel really unique, which I really enjoy. I like I like the side quests in this game. I like how each one kind of felt very unique from previous game instead of like Borderlands 1 and 2. You kind of get a side quest and you just kind of go there. There was a lot more deep depth in a lot of stories. JJ and I were talking about it on stream the other night. There's some really unique ones. Angels and Gracie's birthday party. There's some, like, you feel some weight. The crew challenges were a lot of fun. Hammerlock hunts and shit like that. Zero's quest. I felt like a lot of the bosses were improved. I enjoyed that most of them weren't a tank. Some of them were, bullet sponges, but most of them felt really unique and you had to do something different. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
No, I back to your legendary point. I think Seth was only level 20.
Yeah.
And he was rolling with 4 legendaries, so it might have been too good of a drop rate.
Yeah, I started out really hot. After I killed Gigamine, I had a big drought of legendaries, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. Another thing I really liked was the skill trees were very diverse in this game. They gave you a lot of different options for your character. Especially, I can speak only about my Siren Amara because that is my favorite characters. I always play as Sirens. We'll discuss Siren lore in a little bit. I'll give you some education on that because we're going to talk about that in deep story dive in a second. But I liked the way the trees panned out. Like, you could change, for example, with Amara, I could change whether I want to have corrosive damage, incinerative damage, or lightning damage, shock damage. I could change how the phase grass work. I could change where I could hold you. I could change it and pull people in and explosive barrels. I could have arms slam down. I could punch the ground and blow shit up. There's a whole many different diverse mechanics to the game. And I can only speak on my Sirens, but what did you guys feel on your characters? Because JJ played as
Zane,
and then Tim played as Flak, which everybody and their mama played as Flak. But go ahead, JJ, what'd you think of your skill trees?
I like that I can get rid of grenades and I can activate 2 action skills with him. And the same thing, if you have the drone, you can give it different damage. Like right now I have it does ice damage and shock damage, I think. It does it. Like you said, the skill trees feel real, like, and they kind of intertwine with each other too. Like maybe you'll put a couple points into this. Like right now I'm putting points that make in my red tree to make my action skills last longer. Because I'm rolling with the blue and the green, but I have a few in that one to make it the blue
I
and
want
the green
red
better.
and green for me.
So I kind of got to see Flak. I'll let Tim talk about it because he was in depth. My son played as Flak as well. So Flak was a huge help to me personally. I think he's a
very broken character, but I think that's why a lot of people loved him.
He was a good character. I'll let Tim speak to Flak.
Yeah, go ahead, Timmy. What'd you think of Flak?
Well, I didn't experiment too much with all of his other trees because there was definitely one that was way better than the other ones.
Yeah.
That's the one that when you go invisible, every shot is a critical hit. And there are some kind of, I don't want to call them broken because they did nerf them a bit.
They finally did, yeah. The thing about, I want to speak on nerfs too, but go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, I really enjoyed it, and having a companion that runs along with you all the time. Like when I first saw that he was a Beastmaster, I'm like, oh, that's cool, but like, it's just going to be his action skill. That's all. That's the only time you're going to get to have them. But the fact that they're there all the time is really cool.
Which one did you roll with?
The Jabber.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Seth did that one too, and he named it Fred. He named him Fred, but yeah, because he's the Jabber. I'm sure they're all like that, but he's awesome. You know, if you Seth
I
kind
like
of
how
plays.
they can evolve. You know, and
Yeah.
and
Seth kind of went like Seth would go balls deep. A lot of times he just go right into the action, so he died a lot. But Fred was always there to revive him. Like it was cool that I didn't have to go. I might be on the other side of the map fighting, and he's able to still be revived and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
that was a really cool feature. I wish I had liked the Skag tree better, because I would have liked to have evolved him and play with him, but that was my least favorite tree that I was interested in, so I didn't even bother. But I might play through it again and just respec and see how it is.
Yeah. I can speak on Moze a little bit. I am not in love with Moze. There's always two classes that always come back. It's the Gunner and the Siren. And the Gunner in the previous two games, Axton and Roland, they both had a turret. Roland had one turret, and then Axton had two turrets. Obviously, that was his thing, but he had some cool shit. I think JJ's turret would explode. Where Moze, her thing is the Iron Bear, and the Iron Bear is this giant mech, but honestly, it's kind of just a turret. You just sit in the cockpit of it. Unfortunately, it's not as good as I thought it would be. I noticed a lot in mobs. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna summon Iron Bear. He's gonna help me out with this mob right here, and he would just die. They would shred him 100%. I don't know if they buffed him recently, but I haven't got in love with Moze. But JJ had a brilliant idea. That is, we're probably just gonna level all power level all other 3 characters that we're not playing as yet. Just get them to 50 so we can intertwine when we all play together. Because I want to speak on the multiplayer level, because I had a lot of fun playing with Tim and Chad. I played with Chad and Tube Dude. Shout out to Tube Dude. We were playing a lot. We played a lot. Chad and I were melting bosses and getting a bunch of legendaries and shit. We were having a lot of fun. Timmy and I were platinum in the game together. We're doing all these Circles of Slaughter bullshit, which the Malawan one really sucks, and I hate that one really bad. That one's terrible, and it glitched out on us a couple times. But I don't. They need to buff Iron Bear a little bit. I can especially see it with Mayhem 3 that Iron Bear is just fucking useless, and that's pretty sad when that is your action skill. And Moze is better without her action skill, because I've seen some ridiculous people that had gotten Moze to 50 and some class builds they made of Moze, and she's insanely good. But my experience with Moze right now is not. It is very boring. I'm only 16 with her or something. And that's why I haven't leveled her up to 50, because I'm having more fun playing Amara, my Siren. I loved her a lot, and she's very unique compared to all other Sirens. She's very much like Krieg and Brick, but as a Siren. But I kind of did her more mental wise. I didn't focus on the physical skill too much with her. But I really enjoyed the Vault Hunters anyway. Let's go into. I speak about it a little bit. I love Mayhem Mode. I thought Mayhem Mode was a really brilliant idea.
That's a great addition, man.
Incredible.
It makes you not have to go through the story again to get to 50.
Yeah.
You can.
Exactly. You can play it how you want. You literally can beat the game at level 20, and then go into not Mayhem. What the hell am I talking? Mayhem Mode. Go ahead into Mayhem Mode, and then you can level up to 50, because everything will scale to your level after that. And I thought that's really a brilliant idea. And I realized it even more when I was playing as Moze. It was like, why the hell am I doing every single side quest with Moze? I should just run through the damn game with Moze. I don't need to do any more side quests with Moze.
Yeah.
I already did them all with Amara anyway. Tim and I did most of them together. But I did really enjoy that. I want to give the floor to both of you guys. Was there any dislikes gameplay-wise of the game? I know you spoke upon it a little bit already, like the popping and stuff. Was there anything else that you guys remember? The game should be much fresher in both your heads than my head, because I beat it pretty quick. But go ahead, JJ, you start.
my biggest, like I said, my biggest problem with the game is a lot of the slog of the engine running. Like if anytime you try to do anything other than play the game, it will slow down a lot, and it was crazy.
I was really shocked for you to say that because when it was slowing down for me, I'm like, oh, I have a regular PS4. It probably won't be like that on Pro. JJ has a PS4 Pro, and it's still very slow and boggy, which is kind of crazy to think. But go ahead.
Yeah, it like I said, I don't know about you guys because you guys played solo, how much it bogged down, but the
Every
split screen,
time, like you said, every time I touched the map and every time the game loaded in, like if I just started the game up, every time I loaded it in, it would take a while. So, for example, when I was farming Borman Bates, which is a Psycho reference there, I was farming him a little bit to get his special legendary gun. But every time I would pop in, because I would pop in at that new U station with the cars right there at Promethea. If you guys like the first area of Promethea, I'd pop in right there, and it would bog down every time. Then every time I would get into my car, it would take a while, and it was very it almost froze. I actually got a lot of blue screens out of it, which is kind of a bummer. But go ahead.
The game never kicked me out though. Like I heard you guys talk about, or I never had that. So
it happened to me the other night. Yeah.
But other than that, it played very well. Like when it was not, the engine ran fine when you weren't trying to do, check your inventory or check the map and shit. When you're just playing through the game, man, it ran really well.
Okay, what about you, Tim?
I mean, I definitely noticed it in the menu, like JJ's saying. Like whenever you open up the menu and switched between, the skill trees and that, I felt like it was crazy slow, and that was a bit ridiculous. I didn't understand why that was a point at which it was slow. But,
for new technology, man. But
yeah,
we're kind of at the end of the rope of PS4 as well, though.
Well, because Borderlands 2, like I got the Handsome Collection or whatever, never felt like that. I just played that game, and me and Tim played one day, and he could go to his menu or.
First of all, you used Tim. Don't ever do it again.
I did use Tim. But...
you cannot talk.
Hi, Max.
Hi.
But no, the Fiend came out from underneath the ring and grabbed Seth Rollins in the first match.
Go ahead, Tim. Was there anything else that you had? Because I have a lot. I have a lot of shit to talk about.
Obviously, the glitches that we experienced when we were trying to do those slaughter domes.
Yeah.
The totally kicking us from the game. That was frustrating enough for us that one day where we stopped playing.
Yeah. Also, we got to the end. We got to the end of the slaughter dome, and an enemy was stuck outside. It was glitched out of the.
Oh yeah, that too.
And we couldn't finish it, and it did frustrate us because we would have had a platinum sooner. We would have had it 2 days sooner. Then we had to literally play 2 days extra to get the plat because of all the glitches we went through. And then another time we got to the end, wave 5 of 5, because the slaughter domes were long as shit in this game. I mean, super circles of slaughter. I'm sorry, I keep calling them slaughter. Circles of slaughter were really long. We got to the one with all the animals. We got to the final wave, legit final wave, and it blue screened on me and kicked Tim out. And it frustrated us. But go ahead, Tim.
No, that between that and the enemy glitching outside of the arena, if it's gonna glitch anywhere, you got to avoid that on boss fights and arenas like that.
And that glitch is not a new thing either because it happened to me in Borderlands 2 recently when I was when I had to go back to PS3 and platinum because I platinum Borderlands 2 and both Borderlands 2, the PS3 and PS4 one. So I turned my PS3 on, played it again, and I had to do the last slaughter dome, and I got to the final wave, and I had an enemy glitch, and I had to do the whole fucking thing over again, and it hurt me bad, but I was like, I'm so close to this platinum, I gotta do it. Let's just do it, and I did it again, but man, I didn't enjoy that, but I was really disappointed to see that happen again when Tim and I played it in 3. I'm like, wow, like there's clearly this game came out sooner than it probably supposed to. And I'm getting, to be honest with you, I can't give games passes anymore. I'm tired of games coming out way too early. Like, fix your shit and like get it ready to go. And they're talking about, we've already had 3 hot fixes in Borderlands 3, and it still has not fixed anything. And I went through a lot more. I've still got some glitches going on. But go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry I cut in on there.
No, I was pretty much done.
Okay, I got Tim hit the money on the head with something like the blue screen. I had too much pop in, hitches, glitches. The Troy boss fight. This hurts me a lot. The Troy boss fight. I told you guys I went on I went on a great streak. I had a bunch of legendaries early on. Then it was drought city. Like everything just fucking dried up for me. But when I killed Troy, that bastard, when I killed him, he dropped 3 legendaries for me. But as soon as the cutscene was over with, I spawned underneath the floor. I spawned underneath the floor. I was stuck. I have video of it too. I wish I could play it anyway. I spawned underneath the floor. And I missed out on all those legendaries. I couldn't. They were not in my lost and found. My lost and found didn't work until I beat the game and got to level 50. Like my lost and found works now, but it didn't work at the time, so I missed out on all that. I do like that idea though, the lost and found. If you miss out on items, it could be in your lost and found.
Man.
It's a
so
lifesaver, but
ideas.
It bummed me out, and honestly, it killed my mood for a while until I got to a certain story point, which we're about to talk about. And it kind of brought me back up, and I beat the game. But it really it hurt me a lot. I've seen a lot of this with the PC people. Their save files get corrupted, and they have to start their game completely over. I've seen it happen a lot to streamers and stuff. I watched a lot of Borderlands streamers. It's happened a lot. This just happened to me just now when I installed the new hotfix a couple nights ago. All the legendaries and everything I had in my bank is gone. It's completely gone. It's not there anymore. It's erased from memory. Huge fucking problems to have in the game. I'm not going to complain too much because I have so many legendaries, but I'm really kind of concerned to put shit in my bank now because I'm like, oh shit, I gotta hold stuff now. And it really bummed me out because I had a lot of guns I wanted to give to people. I had a lot of extra guns I was going to give to JJ, Tim, so many other people. I had so many extra guns because I played the fuck out of this game. I probably beat this game about 35 hours in, and I played it a lot extra to get to 50 and do all the challenges and get the platinum, and played with Timmy. We did all the trials together. We did a lot of multiplayer things together. I played a lot with Chad on Saturday night. We were just melting bosses. One night we played for till 4 a.m. in the morning. I had a lot of fun with this game. Despite all this bullshit, I want to say this right now. I don't hate the game. I know I'm talking a lot of shit about it, but this is just my experience about it. And not every game needs to be game of the year. Some games just need to stay in their lane and just enjoy it, right? Just be their own game. Because I'm going to tell you right now, 2K and Gearbox don't give a fuck if this is game of the year or not. They're going to sell a lot of DLC copies. They're going to sell a lot. It was the best-selling game Gearbox ever had. Obviously, so it's Borderlands 3. It's been 7 years. Everything Gearbox has done is flopped. Duke Nukem, Aliens, that MOBA game that everyone calls it Overwatch, but it wasn't Overwatch because it was a MOBA, not a arena shooter that Overwatch is. But Overwatch killed that game. That game was a huge fucking flop. They had a lot of flops. They could not let this flop. And despite all this complaints I'm just doing, all the bitching I'm doing right now, I had so much damn fun with this game, and I really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. And it didn't stop me. Even with my bank erasing, almost 50 legendaries fucking gone. I really still don't really care because they've been giving me legendaries like candy. But I'm a little irked that people keep talking about this game in Game of the Year conversation. But we're going to say that at the end because this ain't no God of War. This ain't no Persona 5. This ain't no Horizon. This ain't no Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of problems with this game. And it's still going on. And it's embarrassing. It's really fucking embarrassing that my bank was completely fine 2 days ago. But I install a hotfix and it's completely gone. You just delete it. You just took everything from me. And I know this has happened to a lot of people. And I don't want to scare anybody. I don't want everyone to look into their bank right now and be like, fuck, everything's gone. I hope you guys are all right, because I thought I was okay, because I didn't have that problem until 2 days ago. So that's kind of a bummer. The save file corruption, the boss fight glitches with Troy, I think it happened to Tim too, right?
Yeah, but I got 2 legendaries as well, but both of mine were in my lost and found when I checked.
Lucky.
But I also checked immediately. I don't think you really knew about the lost and found until later, wasn't that true?
Mine was never full. It was always empty. It always said empty.
Okay.
It was a big glitch for me, to the point where I had to play as Moe's, and then it filled up one time. I was like, what? And I had like all of Amara's guns. It was funny. There's a lot of problems with the game. Did that happen to you, JJ? Did you have any problem with the Troy boss fight? Any boss fights?
No, every boss fight went fine for me.
Okay, that's good to hear. I mean, I think that happens.
I didn't get any legendaries from that boss fight.
Yeah, well,
Seth got 2. I didn't get any.
Yeah, I got 3, and it was all gone.
So, I never had a lost and found problem either. It was always half full or full or. So
it bummed me out because Tim put a lot of hope in me. I was like, oh yeah, oh my god. Oh, it's gone. Like they're not. They're fucking not. And it didn't work for me. I've heard that complaint a lot. That the lost and found didn't work for a long time, and it happened to me. I experienced a lot of stuff. And again, I don't want to complain and say not buy this game. Despite all those flaws, I'd probably lower my score from an 8.5. It'd probably be like an 8.2. I'd probably give it maybe an 8. I'd probably give it like an 8. But I experienced a lot of stuff, and it's frustrating shit. It's shit that should not happen in this day and age. We're in 2019. Things need to run a little bit better. And it's pretty embarrassing in my opinion. And especially with another 2K game that I buy every year and play as well. That has a shit ton of problems with it to this day, where it has 3 20+ gig patches and still didn't really fix anything in 2K. So, I mean, it's kind of sad a little bit. Let's get to the story. Let's talk some fun in the story I really want to talk about, because I had a lot of fucking problems with the story as well. I'm with Tim in the sense that I like Borderlands 2 a little better than this one, but there's a lot of likes I had, but I want to hear from you guys first. We're going to start with Timmy. What was some of your highlights of the story? What'd you like?
Let's see. Highlights of the story. I mean, Claptrap, as always, was amazing. Best character there is. Best character to play. They should have brought him back from that one, but yeah, it's a shame that they didn't.
His ass saved everybody, guys, okay?
Yeah, he did. Anyways, seriously though, that's a good question, because I did like so many things about it.
Yeah, list some of the stuff you like, because we're gonna get through this together, because I have a lot of stuff to talk.
So I mean,
there's a lot of things I like, and a lot of things I hate.
Towards the beginning, going to later on, the fact that Lilith lost her powers, that was pretty significant. And I guess looking back, yeah, I can totally see it coming, but not knowing what that girl's powers were at first, was kind of it came as a shock. I'm like, oh, shit. What is everybody in Sanctuary going to do? Lilith was basically the baddest badass there was, and now she can't do shit.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool, taking the most powerful person we had on our team and making him powerful. I mean, kind of classic move, but still a good move. Let's see, what else?
I'll let you think about it. Let's go to JJ. What was some of the shit you liked in the story?
I like the twins as bad guys.
Yeah.
Their powers were pretty. They had the same power. They're both leeches, but like he said, when Lilith's powers get sighted, you're like, fuck, man. There's one thing I didn't like that I didn't see coming, but you want to
hold it for now.
I'm not gonna say it. I told you, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
But the Typhon D alone, I liked him as a character. He was fucking hilarious. The fact that the the twins were his children were pretty fucking.
That was the
a
one
good-
point
that
in the
was a
story
really
that
good
brought me
twist.
back up again. After I lost all
Yeah,
those
I was
legendaries
like-
from Troy, when they said that shit, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta finish this.
Yeah, in hindsight, it's pretty obvious, but
You're right.
You know,
It is like looking back on it, it is obvious. But go
But
ahead.
why are you going through it? So I think that's what great storytelling. Why are you going through it? You don't really think about it. You know, it's
Yeah, you're
Borderlands.
not thinking about it. Yeah.
You're blowing shit up. You're not. You know, it's one of those games where you're not necessarily trying to figure out the story.
Yeah.
You're soaking it in. You know, so when you found out that this kid, you're like, holy fuck, man, and then she kills him. So I didn't. Yeah, it was good. I like the story. I think you guys are right. 2 was better, but I like this one a lot.
Yeah. I just felt like I really enjoyed the twins as well. I thought the Calypso twins are really good villains, not great villains. They're good villains. They get the job done. I like the streamer angle. Their voices are not what I expect them to be. I was like, whoa, I really liked it because the initial trailer, they looked more a badass and brooding and like hulking type characters, but I like their voices. I think they did a really good job with their voices. I like the angle, the streamer angle, the power struggle later on between the two. You find out Troy is an asymmetrical twin, so he was attached to Tyrene, and they cut his arm off. That's why he has a robot arm, because they were attached together, and that's why he has the siren power. Because sirens are only supposed to be female, but it's really interesting that Troy was technically the first male siren, or half a siren anyway. He didn't have full control of the power like Tyrene did. Tyrene could really take her powers further. Control, and how she belittled her brother a lot, I liked a lot too, where she called him a parasite from the beginning, like, I'm in charge,
But
you're not in charge.
Cared for him though,
huh?
Like she truly cared about him though. Like she wouldn't keep fucking helping him. He was the little fucking weasel.
Yeah,
he was the dickhead who didn't give a fuck. He would sell her down the river if it'd make him. If he didn't need her.
I like the silliness, the overall silliness of the game. Claptrap's ass saving, from going somewhere.
Vaughn was fucking great.
It was great to see Vaughn and Reese. It sucks that Troy Baker wasn't back, and we still need to see Fiona and Sasha and a few others come back. A lot of Vault Hunters missing. We'll talk about that in a second. I really, the Calypso twins. The 2 new characters. Some of the new characters, I should say. I like them, but I felt like they were trying to be too much like Handsome Jack a little bit. And I think Handsome Jack was lightning in the bottle. It just worked out. They probably were like, fuck it, because Borderlands 1 was more of a serious game. It didn't have all the silliness and goofiness. And I think JJ didn't like the silliness of Borderlands 2. I think I remember him saying in the podcast he thought it was overrated, the silliness of Borderlands, or if they were trying to be funny. And I thought Handsome Jack was... Hold on. I thought Handsome Jack was fucking hilarious. I thought he was a lightning in a bottle. He was a great villain that you just fucking hated him. And Tales from the Borderlands even expands upon that more. I really like how they did that when he was intertwined in that game. But I think it's kind of odd that, you two especially probably never played Tales from the Borderlands, but a lot of characters from Tales of Borderlands are in this game. And there's a lot of things from that game that are missing. Probably missing from your memory because you don't have no memory. There's, Scooter's. You're probably wondering why the fuck is Scooter not here, and some other. A lot of stuff happened in the game. I liked how they intertwined that series into it, but there's still a lot of like missing pieces with the story. I don't want to talk about dislikes yet. I just want to talk about the Calypso twins, and I want to hear what Tim thinks about the Calypso twins as well. Again, I thought they were solid villains. They get the job done. You hate them enough, especially when one thing happens, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. You hate them enough. It keeps you going. And I like Tyrene's angle. I like Troy's angle. I like the streamer lifestyle was really well done. What did you think of the Calypso twins, Tim?
I did like them a lot. And not to, like I said, I did like them a lot, but I hate when people say this, but I'm going to say it. I would have done things a little differently.
Yeah.
Because I think it was just so close to being a lot better, and some things fell short. Like they built up that tension between the two, and then it kind of fell short. Like, yeah, he was kind of siphoning off of Tyreen, but not necessarily to kill her. It was just to power up the Volt. It wasn't like out of animosity, and I think there could have been more there.
Yeah, it could have made him a better villain, I think.
Exactly, yeah. So he specifically kind of fell short at the end for me.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I was disappointed with the same way I was disappointed in Borderlands 1 with the final boss fight.
Yep.
I was
pretty much
disappointed
the
with
same
her.
thing, right?
It was cool, but I was expecting more. Like she just fell down in a pit, became this abomination, and we fought the abomination.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted more from it.
Go ahead.
It wasn't like a challenge either. You expect the final boss fight to be the toughest one, you know?
Yeah, it's a typical Borderlands boss fight.
Like
giant fucking monster that you kill.
Even Troy wasn't that great of a boss fight either. It was kind of.
There were a couple of mechanics, but none of them were like very, super unforgiving. Like if you mess it up, oh well, fuck, you got to start over.
Yeah.
Those are the sort of things I'm looking for at the very least in a final boss fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're right. I would say Tyreen was super easy, especially compared to Troy. I think Troy's the harder fight compared to Tyreen.
She was just a bullet
really
sponge,
easy fight.
Honestly.
I want to speak upon. I was going to save this for my dislikes, but Tim brought it up anyway. Let's talk about, Troy and Tyreen, their power struggle a little bit. I really liked that they were kind of having. If you noticed, let's just talk about it. It's the spoiler cast. When they killed Maya, and I have no qualm, as a Siren fan in general, I have no issues for killing Vault Hunters. Killing Vault Hunters. I don't want to say killing Vault Hunters adds realism. That's not the word. Consequence. It adds consequences, I think, to the story a little bit. Where there's some things to it. I think Maya's death bettered Troy a lot. Like it made Troy a better villain. Because that's when the power struggle started happening, where Tyreen's like, I didn't know you could leech off other people. And he's like, yeah, I guess I can. And that's when they start, they go to Eden 6 and they have their whole, gang war amongst themselves. Like, I like that part a lot. But I wish Maya died for a better reason than Ava. And we'll talk about Ava in a second. But I liked that it made Troy a little bit better. And like you said, with Tyreen, if they would have went all the way, with Troy actually killing his sister and being the big baddie, for at least me, I'm not going to speak upon Tim, but I would speak for me, I would have really liked that more. It would have made him a better villain and be like, man, you're fucking classless, man. That's low to kill your own sister. But, it's a fake out that she's dead and then she, becomes a monster at the end. It's kind of just very typical. Like, I just hate to say it, it's just very typical end of the story Borderlands. It reminds me a lot of 1 where Steel died, where they hyped Steel up as this siren boss for the end, and she just gets eaten by the giant vault monster that you gotta fight. And it kind of sucks a little bit. It just we'll talk more about the Ava in a second. Let's talk about Maya's death and if you guys had any issues about it, because I'm going to expand upon why I have issues about it in a second. But what did you guys think? And I know you two didn't play as a Siren and Borderlands 2, but as I told everybody earlier, it's my character. That's who I play as. I always play as a Siren in every Borderlands game. And again, I have no issue about killing Vault Hunters. I think it adds more consequences to the game. And, I guess the new use stations are not supposed to be canon, which makes sense. There's some, like I said, consequences to your actions in this game. And, we'll dive into Siren lore in a little bit. But what did you think of Maya's death, Timmy? Like, what did you think? Was it right or wrong?
Yes, it was right. I don't think they built to it enough, though. Like it was sudden, which you can say is a tactic in its own way to build a I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, to build just drama,
Yeah.
but I think it would have meant more if it hadn't happened like right after she was introduced in this game. Because it's like this is the first time we get to see some of these characters outside of playing them.
Yeah.
You see her for a couple scenes, and then boom, she's dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, while it did make Troy a better villain, it could have been utilized even more. Like I waited one more planet for it. They could have had.
They waited one more vault and they built it up because they just kind of handed it to Ava, and that's we'll talk about Ava in a second.
You could say it was too much all at once if they kidnapped Tannis and killed Maya in one shot. But I think that would have. I think I would have enjoyed that more, and I think it would have played better story wise.
Yeah,
and made Troy more substantial.
All right, what about you, JJ?
Well, to put it into wrestling terms, what they did with Maya is they did build her up right away. You saw how badass she was. Yeah. Like, she's just flying through people. That's like when you see a Brock Lesnar beating Kofi Kingston in 9 seconds. It's showing how badass Brock Lesnar is, So what that does is it makes Troy look even stronger, that he killed this badass.
Yeah. I don't have the problem with Troy.
The only reason I think what would have made it more impressive, because they already did the leeching of Lilith. I think they hold Lilith too dear. Like, she's been in every single game. Yeah, they hold her. If he kills Lilith, if they kill Lilith, I think it has more weight to it. Yeah, but I see what they're going. I see what you guys are saying. Maybe build up Maya a little more, but they did try to give you her as quickly as possible. Like, she's just flying through this planet, killing everybody, phase locking shit. Doing, showing you how great her powers are. Yeah, but it's super quick, and to be honest with you, looking back at it, it's a lot of foreshadowing. Like when she said, instantly, she was like, she's like, oh, I'm training Ava to be a siren. I was like, oh shit, oh god, oh no, foreshadowing. So I thought it was gonna be either Lilith or one of them was gonna go, because siren lore is, there's always 6 sirens at a time. They always exist in this universe. There's always 6 of them. And if you did the iridium slabs, I know JJ probably still haven't done that. If you do all the iridium slabs, they explain to you, when they die, they have the right to pass their power on to anybody they want, or they can just throw it out into the RMG, random number generator, and just whoever gets cursed with it. Typhon Delon talked about it a little bit. Is like I have 2 sirens in my wife gave birth to 2 sirens, and they're the rarest thing in the galaxy. Ironically, even though we've seen them all in Pandora recently. So the original 6 sirens are Steel, Lilith, Angel, Maya, Amara, and Tyrene / Troy. I guess Troy 7th a little bit. But he's a male siren. They're all supposed to be female. Steel died in the first game. We don't know where the fuck her powers are at, so that's the only power we don't know about. Angel dies in the second game. Again, Spoilercast, if you haven't played Borderlands at all. Angel dies in the second game, gives her powers clearly to Tannis, which we haven't talked about yet. We didn't talk about Tannis yet. And then Lilith I think she's still alive. Ava has Maya's powers now. Maya dies, gave her powers on to Ava. But is it right or wrong? I'm going to say it's wrong for this simple fact. It's because of Ava. If they built up Ava a little bit more, and maybe they do redeem Ava, maybe DLC or something like it, something down the line, maybe Borderlands 4, maybe they redeem Ava. But giving Ava Maya's powers and the bitchy way she does it too, where she just is a dumb little kid, and I understand, everybody's a dumb little kid one time. But just for no reason, take away Maya, who we haven't probably seen in 7 years for a lot of people. I melted so many faces off. I think there's a lot of more with Maya. I thought they would pay more respect to her. And it really hurt me right after that when I got to and found Krieg's echo. And Krieg's like, Maya's like, I'll be back, big guy, don't worry. And
that's that's her last words to him, and you'll never see each other
he's
again.
never been able to talk normally to her.
Yeah, and again, I don't have no issues. Like how they killed Roland wasn't classless. It was really done right. It was a really big twist. It came out of nowhere. I was not expecting Roland to die. I was not expecting Handsome Jack to capture Lilith. Really well done. Where this, it's a little too quick, and I understand if they probably pushed it a little bit more. If they pushed it a little bit more, you guys are kind of right. If they probably pushed it a little bit further down the line, we probably have too much of complicated with Janice and Maya being shit going on. You had to do something, right? And like JJ said, it proves that Troy is kind of a badass. Like I said, I have no problems. It made Troy a better character, but it didn't improve Ava at all. Ava did not improve. She is the same character from beginning to end.
Well,
go ahead.
What happened is the DLC, because the 7 years, we don't see, you're just getting introduced to Ava. We don't know what happened in the 7 years between Maya and Ava. So maybe, obviously it was the plan all along. Maya was going to give her the powers. It sucks it happened. I think you also hold, this is different for you than it is for us.
Yeah, a little bit. It could be, but it's a big complaint I've seen about a lot of people. Not just people that play like
you hold her. You're pussy, the pussy ever. Okay, remember that. But I think what it does is, and to your two's point about Troy and Tyrene, it was what
you're breaking up a little bit.
The Troy thinking he anymore. It's Troy's story. They don't need. Troy's realizing he doesn't need Tyrene to siphon off of anymore.
Yeah, it's again. I have no issues about Troy. Like you keep bringing up, like Troy's fine. I'm okay with that.
No. I'm just saying that's probably.
That's
but you still come back to mine.
But Ava, and there's another problem I have with Ava too. Is Lilith automatically gives sanctuary to Ava. And she didn't do anything. Ava didn't do anything. Like Candace, Moxie, Ellie, they all are better characters and probably deserve to run Sanctuary. I don't mind having Ava.
I would never give anything to Moxie.
Yeah. But Ellie, there's a lot of other qualified people, is what I'm saying, than Ava. Giving, Sanctuary to a little child. Ava, like, I get what you're saying, and it's fine, but this was a big problem that a lot of people were talking about. Not just me. And, yes, I do hold Maya to high regard, but it's okay that she's dead. It's not long. It made Troy better, but it made Ava worse somehow. It made her a worse character. Like, she didn't get better at all. And it'd be better if there was more missions with Ava and getting to know Ava. They didn't build up Ava at all. They just kind of just shove her in your face.
I think that's just about to say. They forced her upon us.
Yeah.
And that was part of the problem.
And I think if you get some DLC with Ava, I think you'll
that's fine. But we're talking about the game right now. Like, we're just talking about the story right now. And you're right. Maybe
I didn't have a problem with Ava at all.
Huh?
I didn't look at it like this at all. I never had a problem with Ava at all.
Yeah.
She was never. I never was like, oh my god, fuck this little girl. No, I never thought.
I don't want to say that either. I don't want to be like F. I'm not in that camp. I just don't like that they didn't. They introduced this character. They just put her in front of you, and they didn't really build upon her. Like, she gets two of the most important things in this game. She gets siren powers, because obviously this was a siren story. And two, she gets Sanctuary. Like, Lilith just gives her Sanctuary for no reason. I think that's really kind of dumb, in my personal opinion. I think that's stupid. But
it's a solo thing, though. But Ava's going to have Moxie to lean on. She's going to have Ellie to lean on. Even to a little bit of extent, Claptrap. But
yeah, I mean, to lean on is like a coffee table.
Claptrap, exactly. He's everyone knows he's the master.
No one leans on Claptrap. Even Veronica left. Veronica left Claptrap.
The minion.
She spent all that time building up Veronica, and she just leaves Claptrap. Poor Claptrap. But
I also want to say the best character in the whole damn game that we're not talking about is Tiny Tina.
Who?
No,
Tiny Tina.
We just hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. I just want to talk because this is a big thing. Like Tim brought it up already. This is a big part of the game, and it happens kind of early. It happens maybe 25% the way through Maya's death.
And then she just
because we didn't even talk about Tannis yet. I think Tannis being a siren's really cool. It's really unique. We know Tannis for many years. Angel, Angel guides you out throughout the whole first game, which JJ can't speak upon because he hasn't played the first game. But Angel was your ally the complete first game, and then she ends up being a traitor. That was a big shock, and too, it's like, whoa, like it's really well done. And then you have this backstory in Borderlands 3 with the side mission, and you find out that, Handsome Jack really loved his daughter, but he despised her when she got siren powers because she knew she could be hunted and killed and murdered, and she was the most rarest thing in this galaxy. And I think they do a really poor job explaining siren lore in general. I think they kind of writ themselves in the corner with the siren powers in general. If you only have these 6 powers, and now we only don't know one of them, they still with Borderlands 4, because clearly they're going to do a Borderlands 4. But like JJ said, DLC, maybe we'll get Ava might be redeemed now. But speaking upon now, story-wise, it bugs me a little bit. I ain't gonna.
Well, I don't think the story is long enough to grow her as a character, though. She just kind of got put in the side,
I know, but that's not our problem. That's what they present to us, JJ. That's what they gave us.
But I'm just saying, you're saying these things, and it's just there wasn't time. You had to finish the game. I think, given more time, she will grow as a character.
Well, I would hope so. I would hope they would improve her, but. I don't know. Tim felt the same way. Like, what did you think of that, Tim? Like, you already talked about it a little bit. Like, you did.
The biggest thing for me was just, like I said, that she was forced upon us. It didn't feel, I don't know, it didn't feel natural.
Yeah.
Getting to know her as a character, and I get what JJ's saying too. Like it was there wasn't any time to, because we were just in the middle of such a campaign. But
I see where everybody's coming from, but
they wanted to build up. They wanted to build up Troy, and they wanted to build up Tannis, and so there's all these other stories that I haven't finished all the side quests yet. You guys obviously have, so you would hope that it was more of that side quests.
No, in the side quest, there's nothing to do. There's one side quest for Ava, and it's just getting her diary back. That's it.
Yeah, I did do that one.
And that's it. There's nothing more to grow her at all.
That's where they should have spent the time. They should have gave her a few side quests to get.
Well, not just her. Tiny Tina, Tiny Tina got the B team. Brick and Mordecai. I would give Tiny Tina Sanctuary instead of Ava, because Ava didn't earn anything.
No,
I don't know, but I wouldn't give Tiny Tina anything either.
She would probably blow everything up, but it'd be dope.
That's what I'm saying.
Bunny would be dope as shit, man.
If you want Sanctuary to be still Sanctuary, you don't give it to I think out of the best, Ava probably is the best option out of it. Tannis doesn't really get. She's a sociopath. She doesn't really get human emotions.
Yeah. No, Ellie's the best. Ellie is number one. I would give it to Ellie.
And Ellie's out Ellie's out trying to get laid the whole time, I feel like.
What better way to get laid than having a spaceship?
I guess. But she kind of runs a spaceship too,
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought that's one of the bigger reasons I thought she should have it, because she basically was already running it.
Yeah. So
she put everything together. She really had it together. I don't think Ava, again, it could be redeemed more, and like you said, there was a lot of things could be juggled,
they could have
but
done
that's
better.
Not our fault. That's on them.
I'm not saying it's your fault.
That's on them. This is what they present to us. And if you're gonna put this game out for Game of the Year, this is the story you give us. That's not good story.
And it's gonna be nominated for Game of the Year. It's gonna be 6th place, but I know you don't want to talk about it yet.
I don't even know if it's going to be nominated. I'm interested to see the nomination.
I will 95% guarantee it's going to be nominated.
I don't know.
It's just too much fun, man. You're focusing too much on. Not everybody cares about story, man. I know you and I do. you and I are. It's big on our list, but I mean, PUBG was nominated. It doesn't have a fucking story. This is better than PUBG. So,
but PUBG was a joke though. Like that was a joke.
I don't think it was
anyway.
a joke though. People enjoyed.
And I'm not saying Borderlands is not a joke. Like if it gets nominated, it's fine. But in my personal opinion,
it's a damn good video game. Like it, dude, you gave it a fucking before you started like knifing it.
Yeah, I know. Despite all the complaint, I don't want to make it seem like I don't like the game. I enjoy. It's more Borderlands, but to me, I'm looking at God of War, and I'm looking at like RE2, Sekiro, some of these other games that are way better.
Like, they will be nominated and they will beat it.
Like
but God of War can't be nominated, so you shouldn't even say that. You can't even put that on your list.
God of War won it last year. Red Dead 2 was highly up there. I think we were really spoiled last year because this year is kind of weak. It's really weak compared to last year, especially. Last year, we were super spoiled with video games. Like there were some of the greatest that we've ever played. And this year, it's pretty weak. There's been a lot of duds. Rage 2, Anthem. Kingdom Hearts isn't that like as good as it could have been. Like it's there's a lot.
Backtracked way hard. You hear that, Tim? You were considering Chad too much.
Well, the thing is, I love Kingdom Hearts as well, and I accept it for what it is. But I gotta be honest, it's not like it's not a complete thing. And you're right about one thing about story. Like not everybody loves story. Some people play. But what did I just say earlier? Not everything needs to be game of the year. It could just be its own game and enjoy it and have fun.
You're not the judge of what is game of the year, though. Like, this is.
Sir, I am a golden.
This will be nominated, but it won't win. I agree with you. RE2 is a better video game. Sekiro is a better video game, but this game.
RE2 might not even get nominated. That's the sad part about it. That's the sad reality that game might not actually get nominated for anything.
Because. In my opinion, video games should be inclusive. People are too exclusive with things where, this isn't what I like, so fuck you. No, there's a place for everything. Like you said, not everything is going to be game of the year, but I think it needs a nod because it represents a certain fan base. And it's player loot shooter that's fucking, man. I'm still playing it. You're still playing it. You platinum the game. You're still playing it because it's so much fucking fun. So,
yeah.
This isn't a game of the year conversation. I'm sorry for making it, but it has.
It's not. I do want to talk about it a little bit. Like, since you brought it up,
it has its place on the list, though. I think they nominate 6 games every year, right?
No, 2 years ago it was only 5. Last year they all did the 6.
Another
this
game
year,
that should be nominated. Could be like 2. They
might only have 2 nominations this year.
Yeah. I think another game that should be nominated and won't be is Mortal Kombat 11 because it's the highest selling game of the year already. It's done great. The story, like you said, isn't great, but the game is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. The thing about that, though, it's not always about sales either. This game sold well.
No,
I mean, it deserves to be
that's
nominated.
What I'm saying, though. But it's
2K, like 2K, Call of Duty, Madden, they sell way more than any of these games sell. And they're not going to be nominated for shit, bro. Except for best sports.
No sports, yeah. But I think Mortal Kombat was just terrific. But again, this game will be nominated.
For Tim, I want to talk about. Do you think this is a game of year contender, like a serious one?
From the games that I have played this year, yes.
Yeah.
From the
games that I know it's your personal game of the year, but I mean, like, legit. The game of the year is the MVP.
You can't do that. You can't disregard it.
Hold on. That's where I have a.
You're being exclusive. You're saying, well, I know you. No, you're asking him what his game of the year is, and if he feels that way, then yes, you should take his opinion.
All right, I'll rephrase the question. Legit. Does this have a legit nomination, a legit case to be game of the year? Not based on anybody's opinion, just based on the game itself and its competition, which we don't know yet because we're still waiting for the list, and I cannot wait to come back and do that podcast, and I hope everybody comes back for that.
Levi, hold on. You can't ask me that without including my opinion.
Well, I already know it's your game of the year, but
it's an opinion-based thing.
Yeah,
I
but
can't
it's
talk
like
about
you got to
what.
think about an MVP.
But
The
there's
best
so many
game
differences
that's
The
ever-
MVP
between
is
the
a
games.
taint.
Huh?
MVP is a
think-
tainted award too.
I think that Mortal Kombat is a dumb game. I don't enjoy playing them at all. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Mortal Kombat will be
never-
nominated for Game of the Year. I really would be shocked.
I would never include that on my list of Game of the Year. Not because it's, I don't know, objectively a bad game, because you can't say that. Too many people enjoy it to say that. But to me, it's not a fun game. So,
And I get what Levi's saying. Like, I don't like Sekiro, but I understand that it's great. I get that it's great. It's not a game I like. It's not a game I really enjoyed, but I get it. And I get what he's trying to say with legit, but that's not fair either. Because his
Well, like
opinion
you said,
is,
if there's only going to be 6 nominations, 6 nominees, what are the 6? Like,
Would
I don't
be
even know if
Borderlands
Borderlands
for
is on
me,
that
yeah.
list, to be honest with you.
I think
Yes, it would be.
100%
Like, I don't,
it's on
to
the
be
list.
because, like you guys said, you made up, like, you said all these things that we don't. JJ and I played a lot of games this year, but we didn't play every game. There might be some indie darling we don't fucking know about that might be nominated, like Celeste last year. But was Celeste a legit contender? Hell yeah, that game was really fucking good, but it wasn't going to beat God of War or Red Dead.
Well, then it wasn't legit then. In your
There
own
was only
phrase,
2
you
contenders
backtrack.
last year, and it was God of War or Red Dead.
And I don't even think Red Dead should have been on that list.
Well, you're silly. That game was fucking incredible.
I mean, as legit, if you were going legit, nothing was nothing. The reason Red Dead was even considered is because it was fresher in the mind of people. Because it wasn't.
I don't know, man. We had a Spoilercast, and you really enjoyed the game. Like, you loved the game.
No, I'm just saying it wasn't a legit. By your standards, it was not a legit contender to God of War.
I don't know. I think it was down to those
God
two.
of War. God of War, to me, is maybe the most perfect video game ever made. It didn't have the glitches or the bugs that Red Dead had.
Shout out
I mean,
to
it was
Neil.
smooth, no loading screens.
Shout out to Neil, friend of the show. He's starting to play a lot of PlayStation exclusives. I was talking to him the other night, and he's starting to play a lot of PlayStation exclusives. And he played God of War, and he goes, I legit have no complaint about God of War 4. And he's a big Xbox fan. And his game of the year this year is probably Gears 5. JJ and I still
That's
haven't
another
played
one
Gears 5.
I haven't played that one, so I
Yeah,
can't
we haven't
really
even played
speak
that
to
one
it.
yet.
And I will try to play it before the game.
But I already know, this is Timmy's game of the year. Your game of the year is probably Resident Evil 2. Mine's Resident Evil 2. Like, but what is going to be legit nominated? Like, I want to know your honest opinion.
If you're gonna say, if I had to pick the 6, I think it'd be Resi 2. I think it'd be Borderlands 3, Gears 5. I think Days Gone gets a nod. Sekiro.
See, I don't think Days Gone is going to get any.
And I don't know about the 6th one. I think Days Gone got reviewed really well. I think you're underselling it. It's not going to be a legit contender.
That game is nowhere near anywhere God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon.
But you can't compare it to those because
you can because it's a Sony exclusive.
No, you can't, because for Game of the Year of 2019, you can only compare it to 2019 games.
Yeah.
No matter what happened in the past.
And I would
can't say, well, it's no God of War.
Other games ahead of that already. Like, there's
That's
a
what
lot
I'm
of better
saying.
games than Days Gone.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to win. I'm saying it got reviewed really well, and people did enjoy it. For as much of it as pushback as it got.
I think it sold really well. It didn't get reviewed well. It has a very low score.
From everything I've read, people loved it.
It has one of the lowest scores possible for exclusive.
But again, you're comparing it to games from past. You can't do that, Levi.
I can. I'm a golden guy. It's my show.
No, it's like saying LeBron James can't win an MVP because Michael Jordan had won it in '96. No, you can't do that.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, bro, but you're taking it too literal. I'm just talking about how great other games were.
You're taking it too little. I'm saying I'm comparing it to games that this year.
And you're right about this year, but
Borderlands 3 will be on that list.
Okay. That's all I need to know. What do you think so too, Tim?
Yes.
This makes good radio.
It does. It's interesting. That's why I bring you guys on here, because you have interesting opinions. I want to hear what you guys think. But I don't know, man. I'm putting this on a question mark because I don't know. I'm really interested to see the nominees this year because there might be a lot of screw jobs this year. You know, what's the biggest complaint about RE2 remake?
Well,
The fucking
Levi,
remake. It's
so
the same
you
game,
are
right?
considering it. So you are
No.
considering it for Game of the Year contender. That's what you're saying.
I don't think it'll.
So then
I don't think it'll win, but it's. But I
For
don't.
me, it is the best game this year, right next to Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro, I would give it the second best game this year, but RE2 remake, the fact that people consider it a remake, I know it has the remake in its name. It's a completely different game than the game 20 years ago that came before it. It's a very much improved. All the fucking games I played this year, I played that game in January. That is still the best game I played. There has been nothing better. It runs flawlessly. The only problem, there's only one story inconsistency I have with it, and that, watch our spoiler cast for that. JJ, Nightphase, and I talked about that already. But hands down, that is the best fucking game this year. Nothing has been better. It's been a critical darling. It sold really well. Everybody loves it. Where Borderlands has been more divisive because of all the glitches and all the shit that's happening.
Everyone loves it. Everyone I've heard talk about Borderlands, like you said, the glitches, but everyone loved Red Dead 2, and that had just as many glitches and fucking bullshit too.
That game ran a lot better than this game.
I'm telling you, I mean, how many times there was times where I would be riding my horse, but not on my horse. I'd be next to it.
There was some funny glitches in the game for sure. Yeah, Red Dead 2.
Like you said, that's part. But again, to Tim's point about putting Borderlands 3, and you being like, well, of course you're gonna put RE2. You hold the Resident Evil series to a You hold it dear to your heart. So it's the same thing.
I'm not being biased on that. I'm just seeing what everybody else talked about, and there's been no better game that has everybody talked about. It has a great Metacritic. It's sold really well. Everybody talks about it. It's RE2.
But it's a game that you hold near and dear. So it's.
But God of War was a game you hold dear to your heart last year.
But it was. I'm telling you right now, RE2 is the best game I played this year.
It's the best game this year.
It's the best. But
it might not get nominated. That's the funny part. It might not actually be nominated. But back on Borderlands, to steer it back on here.
I also loved Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is probably another game that I had a lot of fun that won't even get considered for anything. And I thought it was a great game.
Best probably multiplayer game. But yeah, that game sold really well, but wasn't reviewed really well. But damn it, I had a lot of fun playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
But go ahead, steer us back.
Yeah, let's steer us back. We got to stay tuned for a Game of the Year podcast. But my honest to God thoughts, I don't think Borderlands. It might deserve it, but like JJ said, it's going to be on the end of the bench. It might get one vote.
I think it'll get more than that. I think you're underselling.
Well, just compared to some of the better stuff that's out, that's been played and reviewed.
Well,
you got to understand, it's not up to us. Like you said, it's not up to us. It's up to the media and the critics and all. And all the critics have put so many other games ahead of this game.
Well, what do you put in front of it though? Because right now all I hear is Sekiro and RE2. There's only two games you put in front of it.
RE2, Sekiro, Fire Emblem, Three Houses is way better than this game. 1,000% better.
I think that'll get nominated. That's probably right.
No, it probably won't. It's a Nintendo game. Probably
another game I have no interest in, but
it probably won't get nominated. I don't think Days Gone will get nominated. Kingdom Hearts 3 I would put above this one, but I don't think that one will get nominated either. I don't know.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is not better than Borderlands 3.
Well, I'm just talking about review-wise, what everyone said. But I enjoy Borderlands 3 more than Kingdom Hearts 3? Yeah. I did. Like, I had a lot of fun playing with Tim and everybody. I still got to play with JJ. Let's talk about any more dislikes in the story. We talked about Maya's death. We talked about the ending a little bit. We talked about Ava. Okay, there's one thing I really disliked about the story is kind of like for me as a single player fan, you're kind of like a one-man army in this game, and you take down all the baddies. It's kind of a nitpicky thing, but I didn't like the fact that we were not in any cutscenes at all. Like there's so many cutscenes in this game they just take you out of, and
Don't give him that dog.
it's very odd. They could easily put
Max
you in a
wants it.
cutscene, get hit or something. The biggest point I want to talk about was what JJ said earlier: is Typhon Delon. When he died, you're telling me my character just stood there and watched everybody just get their ass kicked and, Tyrene kill. Like, it's a little bit nitpicky, but I didn't like that. And I heard a lot of people say that, and I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt that way. Huh?
Isn't that every first-person shooter, though, kind of, where your character doesn't really get involved in
all the Call
cutscenes?
of Duty games, you're there. You're playing, like, you see your character do shit.
But, like, Borderlands 2, did your character ever, I don't remember.
No. And that's the thing. That's a step they could have took, and they half-stepped. Tim brought up a great point earlier that I really liked, was that your character talked a lot more, which in 2 ways they never did. I like the fact that when I met Lilith, and Amara goes, "Hey, how you doing, Siren's sister? You're the voice in my head." That she recognized that Lilith is a siren, and I like that.
They all had their own different. They all had their different voice
and stuff.
tracks.
But it's kind of weird that you're in these cutscenes that you're supposed to be there. Shit's happening, but you're not. Like, it easily could have put you getting your ass kicked like everybody else, throw you on the ground. It takes 2 seconds for that. That's all you had to do. But they kind of half-assed it. And they half-assed a lot of this game. And that's what I'm trying to get at. And that for me, it can't be a Game of the Year contender because of that. They just half-assed a lot.
I don't know if it's half-assing. It's kind of their... How did Borderlands 2 do? They got nominated for Game of the Year, right?
No, it never. I don't think it did.
Yeah, because there's like a Game of the Year edition of it.
Yeah, but they do that for every game.
But I think it's. But I mean, you're a whole. Are you just doing Jeff Keighley's thing?
No, there's a lot more Game of the Year awards. Let's see. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Borderlands 2 got nominated because, I mean, that's kind of their thing. Like, it doesn't have to be like every other fucking first-person shooter, and it's a Borderlands 2 or it's a Borderlands thing where your character kind of just like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when you make a great game, you take steps forward, right? They took a lot of great steps forward.
They did.
But they also took a lot of half steps.
But to still be you still have to have your stuff. You can't just go, well, fuck this. This is. I mean, that's how Devil May Cry ended up being Devil May Cry because they're trying to make a different game, right?
What do you mean?
And they change. You can't take out all the DNA of your game. You can add to it, but you can't take out all the DNA and be like, this is still Borderlands.
I don't think that takes the DNA. I think it just adds and makes the game better. Like, experience. Like, the
you
character
don't know
skins.
that,
Are you talking about character skins? You're telling me they can't put a character skin in a cutscene? Like, come on,
no, they can. They can. I'm just saying it. You usually are watching in this game when it comes to that shit.
Yeah. You're kind of just there. You're just a vessel. Like, you're just a vessel. But to me, it's just kind of odd.
Technically, you're not there in a lot of ways.
Huh?
It's weird. Because kind of you're not there in a lot of ways,
exactly.
too.
And they keep talking like, oh, you're this hate killer. You're this badass. You did all this shit. And I don't get any credit for it. They gave all the credit to Ava. They gave all the credit to Ava. When I saved the goddamn planet, they gave it to Ava. I think that's a fair point.
You're a hired assassin, basically.
Yeah, basically, essentially, yeah. They all have.
They're not going to give you sanctuary.
Coming to Pandora,
right, Levi?
What?
They're not going to give you sanctuary, Levi. Calm the fuck down.
Well, I wouldn't want sanctuary anyway. I wouldn't want that. But like, how did you feel about that, Tim? Did you feel like your character wasn't involved anymore? Like, I know you didn't really think about it at the time, but us talking about it now, how did you feel about that?
I didn't have an issue with it because that's how Borderlands has been playing it.
Yeah.
And it makes me, and they honestly might do it on purpose because it makes me look forward to the next game, which is, one of the reasons I was a little disappointed in this one.
5 years from now?
Well, it doesn't matter when, but still, that's one of the things I was looking forward to in this game was, oh man, now we're going to see development of all these characters that we played as before. But that's one of the things I was disappointed with because, you don't see Krieg, you don't see Axton, you don't see any of them from the last game, which was one of the coolest things from
Axton.
That was one of the coolest things from 1 to 2 is that character development you see with Lilith, Mordecai, Brick, and Roland.
Yeah.
But you didn't get to see that in this one, and so
not really.
I'm hoping you see that. We'll see that in the DLC. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but if they made a 4, that's definitely what I'd be looking forward to. Character development of these guys.
Because I thought, go ahead, JD.
Well, yeah, to your point, you really only, they did develop Vaughn more, which I played a little bit of Tales of Borderlands, so I got, it was exciting to see him, but like Maya like you said, we just got a little taste of Maya where you got to see truly how badass her powers were, and then they just took her right away. But like you said, no Salvador, no Axton, no Gage, no Krieg, really, just you get an Echo. So it's, because that was what was, because I didn't play 1.
Yo,
so then you 2, and you did see all those characters. And
Borderlands 2 came out 2012. What do you think the score was, Metacritic score-wise, of Borderlands 2?
That's not what I asked you, though. Was it nominated for Game of the Year?
Just hear me out. What do you think the Metacritic score was?
Somewhere in the 70s.
No, it was 91. Borderlands.
So, see, there you go.
And it got nominated for Game of the Year. What's the Metacritic score for Borderlands 3? Go ahead.
86.
79.
It'll still get nominated. You're holding
no game
a
under
Metacritic.
an 85 has ever been nominated for Game of the Year.
I'm telling you, this will be. You're holding this Metacritic thing to a. You're putting the pussy on a pedestal again.
You're right. You're right to a degree. You shouldn't, but it's all the accumulated reviews. Every single review, everything. Borderlands 2 was a very beloved game. Like, it was really loved, and it was a special game for its time because you can't understand this because you didn't play Borderlands 1. But jumping from Borderlands 1 to 2, it's like Assassin's Creed 1 to 2.
Well, I did see all the 1, so I know what you're saying. It was a huge
improvement, where this game isn't. It's just, more Borderlands.
Yes,
and there's nothing wrong with it. It's like,
it is an improvement. Like,
they
I wouldn't say
yes, but it's not that big jump. It's not like that God of War or something like
it's hard to jump.
The story in 1 kind of sucked.
You're right. One story kind of was. Well, they didn't know what they wanted to do. It was very new. It was a looter shooter. Never done before.
So trying to say there's got to be the same improvement from 1 to 2 as there is from 2 to 3 is a bit excessive.
And also, you had the Handsome Collection come out, where if you have a PS4,
Game of the Year,
you get the same graphics.
Fair thing to say.
I don't think so.
Because the Handsome Collection came out when?
Probably
2015?
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. So that even improved Borderlands 2.
In a lot of ways, it did. Yes.
So
they did a lot of jumps to it.
So really, what you're doing is you're comparing the Handsome Collection to 3 is what you're trying to do.
Well, that's kind of fair because that is probably the memory that's in my head the most. Is probably the PS4 version of the game.
The graphics aren't that much different from the Handsome Collection.
No, it looks pretty much. It looks better than the PS3 for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you compare it to the 2012 version,
I can tell you right now because I played the PS3 version.
And did that game bog down too?
Not as much. I was really shocked again.
I remember
performances of
Borderlands
you was
3, bitching to me.
I was really shocked by how it didn't run.
I was too. To be honest with you, I was too. It was
like your point to God of War and stuff. There was no flaw in God. I could not.
But I'm not trying to compare this game to God of War. You keep doing that, and I don't want to do it.
Well, you're right. It's not fair, the thing. But if you're going to give it Game of the Year,
it's fair to compare it. I didn't say it was going to win. You don't think it's going to be nominated though?
No. Well, maybe. I'm on the fence about it because I don't know what's going to be nominated. Is RE2 going to be nominated? Is Sekiro even going to be nominated?
Sekiro will be nominated.
I don't know. I don't know the list. Last year, like I said, we were spoiled. The quality of games we got last year is so much better than this year. There's been so many duds. Rage 2. Anthem. A lot of people thought Anthem would win Game of the Year. Anthem's fucking terrible. Right? It's not a good game. It's bad. Rage 2 was a terrible game. That Bethesda was making fun of Borderlands the whole time, and what does it do? It lays a dud. Nowhere near imaginative as Borderlands. Borderlands is so much better than Rage 2. 1,000%.
And that's a fair game to compare it to.
Yeah.
That's a fair comparison. Again, same year. You can do that. And It would, like you said, it was supposed to be this competition, and it's not. Rage 2 sucked dick.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting, gentlemen. I mean, we're going to come back and we're going to have the list for Game of the Year. You know, obviously it's going to be Jeff Keighley's Game of the Year. We're going to think about that one. We're going to react to that one. We'll do a live stream of that. Yeah. Was there any other complaints of this game that you guys had that you want to talk about? Was there anything else we missed? Maybe we didn't talk about Tannis enough? Like, was there any other moments you want to talk about?
My only issue with Tannis is that I felt like they were definitely overplaying the Siren card, but
yeah, because the story was built on it was about Siren.
Yeah, I know, but when she revealed herself as a Siren, I'm like, okay. I kind of stopped for a second. I'm like, all right, is fucking everybody a Siren?
When you go back and play that part too, it's so clear in your day that she's a Siren because she's in your head. She doesn't touch the key. She charges the vault key. Actually, she charges the vault key for you. So it's like, oh yeah. But like JJ said, you're just kind of in the shit. You're just playing. You don't fucking realize. And that's for me. Like I can't, praise it. Like I can't praise.
It's crazy that
the story in this. It's just good.
Well, I felt the same way as Tim, where like they say these sirens are so rare, and I know all fucking of them at once.
Yeah, they're all in Pandora.
They're all here at once, really.
So and the Iridium slabs, I want to go back to that really quick. They do mention a 7th siren, and it says, don't find the 7th. So let's talk about, I guess we could talk about let's talk about the ending and what we think Borderlands 4 is going to be. Do you think Lilith is dead, number 1?
No.
Yeah, I think she's alive. I think
because they would have kept Maya alive and killed her. I think
some time's going to pass, and the vault, the Great Vault, is gonna start opening, and Lilith's gonna get a little bit weaker, and you're gonna go to the moon and figure that shit out, or whatever. I think it's the moon, right? It was the moon.
Yeah,
I think it was the moon. Yeah, like you're gonna go find her, and that's when the story is gonna it's gonna probably be more about sirens. We got a bunch of new sirens now, and a lot of dead ones, but they all 6 are always supposed to be around. I think we'll finally see Steel's power. Hopefully they'll have a lot of growth for Ava and stuff. Again, I'm not going to compare the DLC later on, but comparing this now for Game of the Year and stuff, as this story stands, how this game stands, for me, no. But what do you guys think how 4 is going to happen? Like, how is it going to start? Or what do you want to see in 4, really is the question. Like,
I couldn't even tell you.
I don't know.
And did you even like the ending? Anyway, did anybody like the ending? I want to know.
I imagine they're going to do more with prequel or with DLC.
Oh yeah, maybe we go to the moon and actually open the Great Vault. That'd be a cool DLC.
Yeah,
I did sing "This Girl's on Fire."
My hope is that.
Well, the funny thing is, Tim completely skipped the credits. I watched the whole credits, and there was some cool comic book moments that they showed some people evolving. Hammerlock and Wainwright got together. I thought Wainwright was fucking hilarious. I love Wainwright. I thought he was a great character. I liked exploring all the different planets. I think some planets were too fucking big and some were too fucking small. I would like to explore some stuff. The DLC thing is, what is coming out really soon, guys? What's coming out next year that's going to probably stall the DLC a little bit, in my personal opinion? We're getting new consoles next year. I think they're going to have their Great Vault Edition, their Game of the Year Edition, with new characters, because they said they weren't going to add any new Vault Hunters, and I think that's bullshit. I think they're going to. I just think they're caught in between like Mortal Kombat is right now, where a new console generation is coming out. This game, Borderlands 3, clearly is going to be put on PS5 in high res. And go ahead, Gearbox, you can take Great Vault Edition if you want. That's what you can call it. The GOV, the Great Vault Edition, or GFV, Great Vault Edition. I think they're gonna go that route, because if you look at the DLC, they didn't really give you much. They didn't even say they expect you to buy a season pass, and there's really nothing there yet. It's just kind of one old-fashioned DLC where it's like, hey, just buy it, and we'll figure it out as it goes. And I think that's a big hint that Borderlands Borderlands 5 on PS5 will probably like have Fiona, because Fiona wasn't in this game at all, and that was really interesting to me. She's just kind of not there. She's just gone. And she was a big part of Tales from the Borderlands, and it was cool to see Reese and Vaughn. And Tim brought up a point a few weeks ago, is that Reese, you can find a log of Reese talking, like, I gotta find her. Does he mean Fiona or Sasha? Because in my playthrough of Tales of Borderland, I had Reese fall in love with Fiona's sister, Sasha. And he has a picture of Sasha on his desk, which is really cool. So it's probably Fiona. It's probably not Sasha, but it's probably Fiona. But she's not around, and I think she would be a great, maybe part DLC story, or maybe a new Vault Hunter to play as, maybe. Because Athena, another character we didn't see at all in this, is training her. And she's the gladiator from Borderlands pre-sequel. So yeah. I think that's a good prediction. What do you guys think? You think they're gonna, because the DLC seems a little shaky at the moment here. Because we're gonna get some free stuff right now. We're gonna get like some.
I know the Halloween.
We're gonna have a Halloween event, and we're gonna have another. I forgot what they call it. It's like another like Slaughter Dome type event.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
well, do you guys want to see more Vault Hunters? Is really the question, or are you guys content with more trees and stuff? They talked about how they might add another skill tree to our characters, which I think would be, especially for Tim's character Flack. What if you get like a Saurian or something else as a pet? That'd be pretty damn cool, right? Little raptor guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I need another one. I still got to fucking upgrade all 4 of the ones I have.
Well, you can't. You can't anyway. You don't have enough levels yet anyway. You can only get through like maybe 2 trees, like almost to 2 trees.
Almost. I see what you. Oh no, I think with the DLC they'll give you more levels. I meant 3. I have 3 characters left to level up.
Yeah.
Not the. So I don't know if I.
You still got to do your first one, son.
I'm almost done. I think I'm like 45.
Part of me wants new characters because I really like Flack too, but when they added Krieg, that was my favorite character.
Yeah, that was your guy too. Yeah. And you were 0 before that, though, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I had him up at like 72 as soon as that was the highest one you could get him to.
Yeah.
But I didn't have nearly as much fun playing him as I did playing with Krieg.
Yeah.
But going back to what you're saying about DLC or potentially a Borderlands 4, I don't know. They did the pre-sequel, which is, between 1 and 2. Yeah. But I think I don't know, a move might be to do an actual sequels, prequel, like before everything, like possibly with Tyson.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be interesting. Or we could do that with DLC. If you look at Borderlands 2,
I think that would be
they
weird
legit
with DLC.
Had so much DLCs to Borderlands 2 that we got DLC 7 years later than the game came out. We got to do DLC. Like, they're going to hoard the hell out of this game. Like, it's not going to die on PS4. They're going to make a lot of money on PS5. Whether it's backwards compatible or not, which I think technically it is, but there's still some hippie...
I think everything is going to be.
Yeah, like, I think you need to have it. They're going to make some money. And the reason why they're being vague about Vault Hunters and... Because I watched the Borderlands Kind of Funny... what's it called? A TV show they had on YouTube. I watched the whole hour and a half. And the game director said they weren't going to put Vault Hunters in. They were going to do all this stuff. They can't talk about DLC right now. And all of that, if you read it in between the lines, to me, is saying, hey, we got PS5 and Scarlet coming out, and we're going to try to port this game over here and add DLC there. Like, obviously, that makes more sense to me than anything. That's kind of how games work anyway nowadays, because we're in a weird year. Like, we're in an off year of not just games coming out, but we're in an off year of... Like, 2020 looks more stacked than this year already. Not including the new consoles, but we're getting, like, Avengers and a whole bunch of other shit that's really awesome next year. Last of Us 2, Part 2 and stuff. We got big-time heavy hitter contenders for Game of the Year last year, where this year everybody, apparently on this panel, doesn't know who the fuck is going to get nominated. That's the funny thing. Like, everybody's like, ah.
No.
You almost done?
But I think that's where they're going to go. I think they will do Vault Hunters. Did you want more Vault Hunters, JJ? Did you say no or yes?
I could take it or leave it. I don't really care.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're content. But I think we should end it here. We did a really good job. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate Timmy. Appreciate JJ. Appreciate all you hanging out, watching our spoiler cast of Borderlands 3. It kind of got a little off the rails. We talked maybe a little too much about Game of the Year, but that podcast is coming up pretty soon. We should be knowing the nominees probably in about 2 to 3 weeks from now. Probably. Death Stranding won't be on there. Death Stranding will probably be a better game than most of the nominated things on Game of the Year. But JJ and Tim think this is probably going to be a Game of the Year contender or nominee at least. I don't think so. Maybe nominee. Not contender. Not a real contender. It's kind of just hanging out. It's hanging out at the end of the bench, in my personal opinion.
I hope it wins just to fucking punch you in the face.
If it wins, I would be happy. That'd be outstanding if this game won it.
I don't think
you gotta be real. You gotta be real with yourself.
I don't think it does either. I think it's a 2-horse race.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say, bud?
I was just saying, it doesn't sound to me like you would be very happy if it won.
No, Tim, like...
He puts on a facade, Tim. You gotta watch out.
All the stuff I say about the game and the claim are all real things. Like, they're just real things that happened to me. Like, they're just... I don't mean it in a negative way. Like, I love Borderlands. You know how big of a fan I am of Borderlands. I love it. But 2, in my personal opinion, is still a better game than 3 is.
Fake fan.
I think 2 is a better story. I think this one plays better.
I agree, 100%. Story's better. This one plays better.
I don't know. So I think this is actually technically a better game.
Yeah, probably for you. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because to me, you didn't really make it sound like you really liked 2.
No, I like 2. I like 2 a lot. And then 1 I didn't play, but I watched as many videos on 1 as I could, and 2 I watched as many videos on it as I could because I wanted to know the story.
Yeah.
So I do think I agree. Handsome Jack's a better villain. I do think they could have handled Maya a little bit better, but again, you're trying to build up your villain, and I think if they would have had a better end game, if the boss battles and everything would be better, this would have been a lot. It would have been, the story would have been actually better.
Yeah, but how did you feel about them kind of flip flopping like that? Like they kind of buff up Troy, but then he's not the baddie anymore. It ends up being Tyreen.
Because I'm with you. If he kills Tyreen, this is a better game.
Makes him a lot better.
Because you're trying to build him up. You build up that animosity between. He
and that's
realizes
kind of
he
the
doesn't.
Half steps I'm talking about. That's not a full step.
Yeah, he realized. Well, I think I think they wrote the story as best they could, but he realizes he doesn't need her anymore. And once he realizes he doesn't need her anymore, that's when he starts being
the power
more
struggle
and more,
happens. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
He starts talking more. He's more vocal. He starts that gang war between themselves. Like, it's really done. He sleeps with Aurelia. Like, it's really interesting. It's funny.
If he legitimately killed her and he became the big... Because I think you should have fought her first. You almost defeat her. He comes to save the day, but in actuality, he sucks all, kills her. Ending to me.
See,
go ahead, Tim. What you want to say?
I actually thought it might have been better if...
If what?
You cut out a little bit. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I actually thought it might have been better.
I can't.
Yeah, he cut out. Well, I think he was saying, I think he would have liked it better. You there, Timmy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I honestly think it would have been a little... I think I would have enjoyed it a little more if instead of like us killing him in the end, and then her doing the fake out where she was dead, but then she was alive, like she kills him for like trying, because he was basically trying to suck out all her power and was okay.
Yeah, he was going to kill her. He's like, just hold on.
If it meant opening the vault, we kind of stop him, but then she kills him.
I'm with you on that too. Either or.
Yeah.
I just think one of them needed to kill the other one to make it.
And the thing
better.
about Tyrene, she was great until that point, and then
they made her weaker.
Yeah, they made her weaker, and then they even made her weaker again, where she just kind of reverts back to like nothing. Like she's like, okay,
Yeah.
like, and then it's like the same, but like Tim said, it's the same one from Borderlands 1. And I'm glad you I forgot to bring this up. I think the writer of 2 didn't write Borderlands 3. I think the writer of 1 wrote this one, and I see a lot of similarities to that. Like, it's just not as strong to me, personally. But like you said, gameplay, they improved a lot. But there's still a lot of hitches and glitches and some fun stuff. Like, the fact that you were
not even glitches.
All my bank, like, that's
not even
fucking unexcusable.
And to backtrack on the Red Dead wasn't like game-shattering glitches. It was funny stuff. It was, where them taking out a whole bank of legendary, that is unforgivable.
Tim and I spent 2 hours beating a slaughter dome and just fucking ending it. And the fact that you guys are considered this game of the year is beyond me. It's beyond me.
Again, not considering it, it's going to be nominated.
I'd be shocked. And
it's going to be nominated.
How many nominees do you want? Do you want 5 or 6 this year?
I like
20.
Tim, I don't think they could go 20 deep. They'll be like, let's just put everything in here. Let's put Hello Kitty Islands Adventure nominated.
Yeah. Every game is nominated. Let's do it.
Should there be more or less than last year? Maybe I should put it that. Should it just keep it at 6? I think 6 is a reasonable number. 5
or 6. Somewhere in there, I think. Well, like you said, it should depend on the year. Are there 5 or 6 games that are worthy? And you might be right. If it's 6 games, Borderlands 3 gets nominated. If it goes down to 4, maybe not.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, again, we're going to be back, guys. Again, I apologize not having more podcasts. We're going to talk. Maybe JJ and I come back next week, talk PS5 with you guys.
I'm down.
But we're going to have that game. I cannot wait. I want everybody here, plus the Spice Bros, the 2 missing mofos. I want them back. I want them back to talk about Game of the Year because I'm so interested. This is the most divisive I think we've ever been about Game of the Year because nobody really knows. Everybody has their own strong opinion, but the 2 media darlings I've seen the most have been RE2 and Sekiro, and I happen to play those 2.
I think Sekiro
wins it. Shit, here we go. JJ asked me earlier. I would have RE2, I would have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I would Fire Emblem 3 Houses, I would have Devil May Cry 5. I almost forgot about Devil May. I can't believe I almost said I need to stab myself in the chest because Devil May Cry 5 was one of my favorite games this year. Devil May Cry 5, and then I'm probably with JJ. I'd probably put Days Gone as in my top 5, but I don't think it's going to be nominated personally. But in my top 5, I probably would have Days Gone.
I would bump Devil May Cry and put this Borderlands 3 on. I think this is a better game than Devil May Cry. But my opinion.
Like you said, it's your. I don't think so. Devil May Cry was reviewed a lot better.
I didn't like the story in Devil May Cry really that well.
Yeah,
that's on me, man. I get why it's Sekiro game I won't finish, but I get it. I think it ends up winning. Sekiro ends up winning,
and that's this is what I'm talking about. Like, what is the Patty Mahomes? What is the MVP? Like, what is
Matthew Stafford?
What's the best game this year? And last year, I didn't have any questions. The whole panel pretty much had no doubt it was God of War. Like, boom, God of War. And we all played Red Dead 2. And I'm gonna poke fun a little bit at Steve because to this day, what was Steve's game of the year last year?
Red Dead, and he still hasn't played it.
He still hasn't fucking beat Red Dead.
He didn't beat God of War either.
But I think we'll end it here. I appreciate you, Tim, JJ. Thank you guys so much. But tell us down below, seriously, what's your game of the year? Is Borderlands 2 a real serious contender, a nominee, or not even going to be nominated at all? Like, again, what I said earlier, I love this game. I did enjoy it. I did have a lot of complaints with it because there is a huge list of complaints in this game. There's a lot of fucking problems with this game. that are unexcusable in 2019. But hey, it might be your game of the year. It's your opinion. You're right to it. I love what you guys say. I thank you so much, JJ and Tim. Love what they have to say. They got a little emotional. They became emotional lesbians about stuff, but it's okay. I understand. This game means a lot probably to them.
No, you're the one who gets emotional. I got to keep you in check.
That is not factual, but that is totally not factual. But hey, I love you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Smash the hell out of that like button. Maybe, I don't think there will be a stream tonight. I don't know. JJ, you're probably going to bed, right? Maybe I might stream Dead by Daylight later, or maybe Tim and I will play some Borderlands. Maybe we'll stream some of that. I want to still hunt the Red Jabber and get some grenade mods. But smash the hell of the like button for me. We're so close to the Twitch subs, Switch sub button. Definitely follow that down below. Hey, man, we had a great conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it. Your fellow Strauss fan, the GG. Timmy, JJ, we're outie.